Hey friends, it's Lady Ambrosia. I hope you all are doing well. If you hear my dogs barking during this video, it's because we just recently moved into this house and the one that's I have two dogs. I have a pug. She's Brindle. She's super precious. She's mommy's girl. Her name is Yen. And then I have a Pikachi, which is a Pekingese Chihuahua mix. Her name is Mina. And she is still getting used to this new house and this new house's energy and kind of the spirits of the land and the spirits within this house as well. So she's still getting used to that. Both of my dogs, and I think a lot of animals in general, are pretty spirit sensitive. Um, but Mina is more spirit sensitive, more so than Yen. Um, and so she's still getting used to that. So she's trying to let me know, that the spirits are here and this and that. But mommy already knows, and mommy's already taken care of it. So, but you probably will hear her barking during this video because every day around this time, she kind of goes a little bit crazy. So, and we know what that is about. But I kind of wanted to come on here today and talk about this whole Doreen Virtue situation. Now, if you are, in the community or a witch or a conjurer or a mystic or, you read tarot or oracle, whatever the case may be, I'm sure you have seen this kind of going around. Sorry, guys, that's my phone, just a client. I'm sure you guys have seen some of this going around about Doreen Virtue denouncing tarot and mediumship. And I just kind of wanted to put my 2 cents in. I've seen a lot of other vloggers in the community on YouTube kind of talking about it, as well as just people here in my local community talking about it at my local metaphysical stores. So Doreen Virtue, I mean, let's be honest here, she's kind of a big name in the psychic community. She has had a lot of varying sorts of cards published, like the Ascended Masters deck, various angel decks. I know that I personally was gifted her Magic of the Unicorn deck, which I really enjoy actually, especially using that for a younger targeted audience. I also feel like that deck, that Magic of the Unicorns Oracle, is really great to kind of introduce young children into divination. I don't personally use it to read with typically, unless it is for, a child or unless I am introducing, a younger spirit to Oracle. So also, that's my phone again, sorry. Also, I have her Goddess Guidance Oracle deck, which I think I was gifted that one too. I'm not sure. I might have found it at a Barnes and No or a Half Price Books actually and picked it up. Or maybe I was gifted it. I can't remember. I don't know. There's a video somewhere here on my channel where I'm really jazzed about the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. And I even have used that in my practice as well. Um, I have my working altar, but I also have my sabbatical altar, which I change with every turn of the wheel to represent that season. And I do specific workings in regards to the solar holiday. Whereas my working altar, that's just kind of a general altar where I do the majority of my stuff. But how I celebrate the sabbats is at the sabbatical altar. So I have often drawn a card from that deck and put it on my sabbatical altar to familiarize myself with different deities that I may or may not already be familiar with, and to kind of, bring in that energy that goddess embodies. Matter of the fact, I know on my channel somewhere I have a video, I believe it was a Samhain altar video where I drawed Kali. And then I also have a Lammas, I believe, video where I had Vesta, or maybe it was Maven. I don't quite remember. But So I have used her cards. Also, in my community here locally, one of the bigger metaphysical shops, there's Inner Path and New Age People, and they're like a sister company. So they're both owned by the same people. One's on the north side, one's on the south side. And I would say Inner Path is more of a religious goods store. I mean, they sell stuff from varying different religions. And I would say New Age People is more of a occult shop. But really, they are both metaphysical stores in their own right. It just one is targeted more towards deity and worship of any kind, and one is targeted more towards a practice. But both of those locations have psychics who work there who, offer all types of services. And both of those locations also have classes. And they have offered the Doreen Virtue's Ascended Masters courses before. And matter of fact, I have several friends who work at the Southside Inner Path location. So the whole situation here, for those of you who may not already know about it, is that Doreen Virtue has denounced tarot, and she has denounced mediumship, and she has kind of made it known that she is going down a Christian path and that she loves Jesus and that she kind of had a spiritual awakening. There's a whole video where she talks to people. She's talking to, God, what is it? Something House. I can't even think of it, but there's an interview. I'll see if I can link it down here in the down bar. But there's a whole interview where she's talking about what has led to this transition for her. And she talks about how Jesus came to her and how she feels very convicted to do what she's doing, basically. And I am not Christian. I can't really think of anything as far as my beliefs that's Abrahamic, even a little bit. However, I'm a big supporter of following your own truth. And I think that's what Doreen Virtue is doing. I think she's following her heart with this, and I think she's doing what feels right to her. And that's got to be hard, especially after you have, this large following who have paid money to take your courses and to achieve, your certifications. And especially since she's such a public figure in the psychic community, I don't think that would be very easy for most people to kind of come out with. I also want to say that Doreen Virtue has never been not affiliated with any Abrahamic philosophies. She's published several decks regarding angels. Even in the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck in itself, there are Abrahamic figures in there, like Mother Mary, for instance. So, to one extent, I think that it's kind of not surprising because she's always kind of been a little Christo in her products. And one of the things that I've always liked about her is that it was very eclectic, and there was all different types of paths within her products. And some of them, were specifically more Christian, and others were just kind of a catch-all of all different kinds. Now, me personally, I have never really vibed with Doreen Virtue. And this is nothing against her, but she just has kind of always rubbed me, I don't want to say the wrong way, but we've never clicked, energetically speaking. I've never taken any of her courses. I've not been certified with any of her certifications. So I can't really speak on what it feels like to be a follower of Doreen Virtue and have that happen. But my heart does go out to all those people who have, really followed Doreen Virtue's teachings and her philosophies and bought her merchandise and paid money, to attend her courses and to achieve those certificates from Doreen Virtue. So now I also feel like it's a little shady how she's done all of this, because she has built this following in this psychic community. Her bills have been paid by this psychic community. Her bills have been paid by conjurers and witches and mediums. And now she turns around and kind of denounces all of us and what we stand for. And it's unfortunate because I feel like she is going to kind of start spreading this, stereotypical bullshit, basically, that anyone who follows a different path other than the Abrahamic path, or anyone who worships or works with any deities outside of the Holy Trinity, or anyone who contacts spirits or nature spirits or whatever, even to the point of anyone who uses tarot, are devil worshippers and Satanists. And that's a stereotype that we face all the time in our community, and that anyone who does utilize these practices knows that is just not the case. And that's not to say that there aren't people who use tarot and oracle, or who are mediums who do work with, devils, we'll say. But a lot of the Satanists and Luciferians that I've met have actually been very nice people. So there's that. I feel bad, kind of, it's like she is going to, I'm not going to be surprised if here soon she's, trying to convert people and bring people to God, and kind of this like whole horse and donkey show that we've seen time and time again in this community, where people, find what we are doing to be evil, or think that, we worship evil, and it's kind of condescending and belittling. And it's not going to surprise me if Doreen Virtue goes down that path at all. I've heard some people talk about how they feel like what she's doing is for publicity, which I've thought about that too. I don't feel as much of that, because this is the wrong kind of publicity, especially considering that her major target audience has been more of the New Age community, and psychics. So, and now she's ostracizing those people. So I don't think that she's necessarily doing it for publicity. Then there's also the train of thought that she's doing it to try to target a new market, like the evangelicals and Christians, so to speak. And, I could see that too, but I do truly kind of feel like Doreen Virtue, though her way of doing everything and what she's done does feel very kind of shady and underhanded, I think that when she's talking in this interview, I feel like she's being genuine. I personally don't subscribe to what she's saying, but I think that this really truthfully is, her perspective. And I think this really is her truth. And I do stand by people living their truth, as long as, in doing so, they are not, oppressing or marginalizing any other group of people. So, people have also talked about that Doreen Virtue is just going to stop doing it altogether, stop doing all the courses and things that she has done, which I'm pretty sure in the link that I'm going to see if I can put down here in the description box, she does talk about not wanting to be affiliated with tarot or oracle or mediumship. And she did talk to her publishers about still wanting to make Christian products. So I feel like she could still be making, saint cards or Jesus-like oracle cards. But now, I don't think that there's going to be as many like mermaids or sirens or pagan gods or goddesses or anything other than, the Holy Trinity, essentially. which is unfortunate, but that's her choice as an artist and as a businesswoman. She can choose what she wants to do, and this is what she has chosen. Now, you don't have to subscribe to what she's saying. Um, and if you choose to follow Doreen, that's your choice. And if you choose not to follow Doreen, that's your choice. But at the end of the day, it all comes to our personal choices. And this is another thing too that I think is really important. And this is the problem with kind of having messiahs or prophets or spiritual leaders. And this is what you can sometimes kind of bump into, is that you have this person kind of preaching and teaching their own truth, right? And no matter what, there's always going to be people who are going to kind of flock to those people like a moth to a flame. And there's nothing wrong with people who do that. Not everyone feels so convicted to work within the spiritual realm, and not everyone feels so convicted to, be living this 24/7, 365. Some people choose to do this, some people choose to do that. And so there's nothing wrong with seeking guidance or counsel from a spiritual person. But the problem we have and that we face as our community and just as human beings is that when you take someone and place them on this pedestal, um, their opinions can shape and form realities because they have large followings. And the issue here with Doreen Virtue is that as she follows her path and as she walks her truth, which I think this has been coming for a while, y'all. I don't think this is an overnight thing. Um, she is going to ultimately take some people with her along the way. That's just how these things work. No matter what, that's just how these things work. And like I said, if you choose to follow Doreen, that is totally your choice. And I support your choice. But please remember that your truth does not allow you to oppress or marginalize any other group of people. And I would hope that this whole situation won't further uh, marginalize psychics and mediums and people who use tarot or oracle and I would hope that this is not going to, spread more false information about our practices and what we do, because there's enough of that already. And it would be really unfortunate to have someone who has been such a public figure in our community now be someone who speaks against us. I think that would be very unfortunate. So yeah, she's not really ever been my cup of tea. Like I said, I have a couple of her decks. I have the Unicorn one and the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck, which I've enjoyed both of those. But as far as her courses and her teachings, I've never subscribed to. And my heart does go out to those people who have paid serious cash to take her courses and to achieve their certificates. And where do they stand now? Because now their instructor, or ex-instructor, I should say, is teaching against the very teachings she taught and certified people in. I know that at one of the metaphysical stores in our surrounding area, in order to be a psychic for them, you have to take Doreen's courses. And that's one of the reasons why I did not want to patronize them with my gifts. I did not want to take the Ascended Masters course. I did not want to take the Angel card reading course. That's not what I do, and that would be being inauthentic, and that's not who I am. So I think I've kind of rambled here now for a minute, and that's kind of my 2 cents about the whole Doreen Virtue situation. I think it's a little scandalous and underhanded and shady, but also I think that it's her choice, and I feel, this is my opinion, guys, I feel like she is truly being authentic. I think this really is her truth. Now, whether we agree with that or disagree with that or support or don't support that, that's a whole other situation. But yeah, so that's my opinion on the whole Doreen Virtue situation. Let me know what you guys think, and blessed be. Bye.